Hey traders, John Howell here. Let's have a look at the markets today. I want to share with you some things as well too when it comes down to your personal trading that has helped me over the last 19 years and some things that I believe is going to help you when it comes to these markets. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into it. We're going to look at the S&P 500 now. So with the S&P 500 right now is actually having a little bit of a move to the upside. We've actually had one, two, three sort of candles moving up in this upward fashion through here. Looking at the S&P 500 though, it's like, what is this going to morph into? Okay, because there's two different sort of patterns that's forming right now that I'm really focusing on, that I really want to see what actually happens here. See, the thing is that what I'm looking at here is that, does this build into some sort of head and shoulder formation, like with shoulder? So do we actually eventually build some sort of shoulder formation? This is what it could be morphing into. I'm not going to count the chickens before they hatch, if that's the right phrase, the right saying at this particular time. But anyway, we have the left shoulder, we have the head, and then we have a potential right shoulder here. But if indeed, guys, we do start to see this market move to the upside through here, right? If indeed we do see this market move to the upside through here, then what I want to see is this probably market go a bit of a pullback, and then we're probably going to make a move to all-time new highs. So this could be a bit of a setup. So that'll be scenario number one I'm watching for, is if we do have a move to the upside, then we're probably likely to see this thing start to continue and make a new high by the end of the year. Or scenario number two is that we actually start to fill in here, maybe like a bit of a short-term sort of right shoulder, and then possibly start to see a bit more of a move to the downside from here. If we have a look at the long-term sort of support and resistance lines, you can see there's actually a very strong long-term level of support. So the major level of support is through there. So even if we do get a bit of a downward move through here, remember there is a really long-term level of support through here coming on the S&P 500. If we go to the Nasdaq, and we can see the Nasdaq sort of the same thing, right? This is sort of that's the sort of point there on the Nasdaq, that if we do start to roll over, we may get a bit of a bounce through here on the Nasdaq. So really long-term support level coming in from there. The Russell right now is sort of like in no man's land, right? No man's land. We have a move up, and then we have a move down. And so you can see like that's it's sort of like there's no real clear indication. And the big thing about the Russell that you've actually noticed, right, is that the Russell has been doing nothing but just there you go. This has been doing nothing but nothing. There you go. So nothing but nothing in the markets here. So the big thing about the Russell though is when we do eventually start to break out, and are we about to do that, right? So we look at this weekly chart, and what do we see here on the weekly chart? We see this sort of low point, low point, low point. Are we about to get a higher low here before we start to pick back up? If the buyers do come in here, guess what? The buyers are coming in what? They're coming in a lot stronger, aren't they? So they're coming in a lot stronger. Now, what does that actually mean in simple terms? If Fibonacci tools, right? Fibonacci retracement, so on and so forth. If we have a look at a move, if a move goes up like this, but then it retraces even like 90% and then continues up. See how that there's like almost a 90% retracement, right? But what happens is you can see here, look at this here, came up, retraced, nice little retracement. That looks around about the 60% mark there of that retracement there. Move up, same retracement, right? So same low, move up. Notice this here. So if the buyers do come in here, notice they're coming in a lot eager, right? They're a lot eager to come in. And if we do get that, we start to see a move up like this, guess what? We could be getting ready for something like that to happen out of the Russell through there. Make sense? So that's what I'm looking through there, guys. If the buyers overall do come into here, again, the short-term TA through here, it's like not really sure what's going on here. And now, here's the thing, guys, is when we'll talk about this when we look at the silver chart. But when we're looking at a chart, guys, if you are not really sure if you look at a chart, right? Sometimes when I read a chart, I'm like, oh, here's the good trend analysis, here's the good pullbacks, so on and so forth, right? But sometimes when you do look at a chart, if you are unsure about what's going on, like who's in control, where is the trend analysis, where's the pullbacks, and so on and so forth. If you're having a hard time reading the chart, the best thing to do is not trade the chart, right? My most powerful and incredible setups, like this for this week, I've had one trade so far this week, which gave me around about close to 200% return on my risk in the markets this week. I've only had one trade this week. If you would actually like my coaching, guys, second link in the description, you can go apply for it. But the whole thing about that, guys, is that my best trading is always done when we have crystal clean, nice setups, or at least nice patterns and nice setups in the markets. Make sense? Because that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for very good, clean, crystal clear setups. Wait for the good setups. And when there's nothing going on, do not trade, right? Because sometimes we're not sure. And when you the biggest myth out there, guys, when it comes to your trading, is that when we say I'm a trader, for me, I tell people I trade the market every day. I do trade the market every day, but I'm not trading every day, right? So do you see what I'm saying there, right? And this is and you guys will probably know exactly what I'm talking about here. That first link in the description there, guys, I'm giving away a free trading course. The very first video you get is actually talking about my trading system and so on and so forth. But in the free course, you get the top 13 mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes that I always made is that because I was sitting in front of the screen watching even intraday charts. Right now we're looking at the weekly charts, the daily charts, seeing what's happening there, right? The patterns unfold, takes many weeks, so on and so forth. But if I show you a trade that I did just at the start of the week, it was actually on the Forex and futures market. It was on a 5-minute chart, right? So it takes a bit of shorter time for that pattern to unfold. So because we have that pattern that actually unfolds there, what we do, guys, is that what we're looking for is we're looking for those really good crystal clean setups. But the whole thing about trading is the understanding of the ebbs and flows, and the ebbs and flows is that mean even if you intraday trade, you look at the 5-minute charts, 2-minute charts, and you're looking at those sort of markets a couple of hours a day. Guess what? Some weeks, just to the nature of the market, you're going to get some really good crystal clean, beautiful setups, and some weeks not. Some months are going to be, you might not have not much trading going on, and other months you'll have a lot of trading on. And it's in those down months, right? I call them down months. Well, I call this is the activity scale, right? I call this the activity scale here. Activity scale simply just means, firstly, what's your bullseye? See this bullseye here? Right there. What is that? What's the bullseye? The bullseye is, what is that number one pattern that you know when you see it, like, oh my goodness, this is the trade for me. All right. Again, I teach my trading system for free. What my bullseye is, because for me, guys, I'm telling you right now, for me, and this is the absolute honest truth. Absolute honest truth. For me personally, when I get a crystal clean, what we're talking like an A quality setup, every single rule in my checklist, blah blah blah, meets it. Oh my goodness, you cannot beat the system that I trade. The problem with what I just said there is like, oh my goodness, John, incredible trading system. Yes, but now your job is to wait for that. Oh, John, there's been no trades for a whole week. I haven't seen the crystal clean, beautiful setups. Oh, I'm supposed to be making money. And that's where trading goes. That's where most people go wrong, right? And I circle back to what I was saying before about the biggest lessons that I had to make is that understanding the ebbs and flows of the activity statement, right? The activity. This is up here, number 2. Is going to be where there's actually quite a bit of trading going on, and 0 is going to be there's pretty much no trading on. And how you're going to, and so this is January over here, and we're going to go down to December here, and your trading, right, might look something like this. You might have a shoot up through here. 2 just simply means there's a lot of trades that month, right? And then you might have here where it's be even, and then you might have something like this, and then you might have something like this. Right? See what happened there? But there's always going to be a portion of the months throughout the year. Doesn't matter whether you're trading intraday charts or not, where you're actually going to be not as active. And it's in these moments here. It's in these moments here where most traders go wrong. Because when you have really good taking really nice clean setups, it's easy. What's the hard part? Waiting, right? So that's where people say, I want a good trading system and then I can make money. Okay, here's a good trading system. But I'm still not making money. Why? Because you are not patient with the market. Anyway, so, and the purpose of me bringing that up is because we're seeing that's what's happening on the Russell. Let's go back to the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones here, guys, is actually This could be some sort of V-top formation, but on the flip side, look what we're still creating through here. Low, higher low, higher low. We still could be in a higher low formation from there. Make sense? Looking at the gold market through here, guys. Now the gold market's really interesting. I was talking with my private clients there today, and I was saying that this still could be one big massive bull flag formation before we start to see a bit of a poppity pop to the upside, right? And so that's actually really interesting to see what happens there on gold. And silver right now, as we speak, is really fighting out. Like, there's really no one in control. And I was saying this to my private clients today, that when we get nothing going on, right? When we get no one in control of the market, when there's nothing going on, meaning there's no strong trend, right? The most important part, for me anyway, one of the most important parts is the trade with the trend analysis. Now, we're looking at a daily chart here. Obviously, if we went down to, say, a 5-minute chart or 2-minute chart, it would look completely different, right? That's a completely different level of thinking, trading, so on and so forth, right? So just because the daily chart's doing something doesn't mean that the other markets are doing something. And when the chart you are trading, say for example, I'm trading the daily silver chart, I don't see any strong trend. I want to make sure I've got some sort of good trend up or some sort of good trend down. And if we don't have that, we have this going on, then you're risking, you're gambling, and it's a very low probability trade.